Meanwhile, I've heard rumours that you were invited to Lamine Yamal's birthday party, Alex, but you had to sign an NDA, so you can't tell us anything about it?
I think my invitation must have got lost in the post or something, Dan, because I was waiting, it never arrived. I'm the life and soul of the party normally. Obviously, it would have been great for them to have me there.
Now,
but no, I didn't attend.
Now, Alex, obviously, you live in Spain, I've lived in Spain. I know how much coverage these sort of events get, not only from the sporting media, but the daytime media as well, kind of like the tabloidy sort of programmes who just embrace this sort of party, this sort of lifestyle. And I imagine for Lamine Yamal, it really is going to be a baptism of fire. On the pitch, he seems fine, but off it now, it's going to be very interesting to see how he handles all this media attention.
Yeah, there was definitely a tabloid element here. Also, some sort of Spanish celebrities were invited. You had social media influencers invited as well to this party. At the level of scrutiny, I wouldn't say it's unprecedented, but it's getting that way. In terms of Lamine Yamal's profile as one of the best players in the world, playing for Barcelona, being a superstar. I think Barca have always been very, very conscious of looking after him because they've known for a long time what a talent he is. They've done this for years now. This is a kid who comes from a tough background, a tough neighbourhood in Mataró, one that he's very proud of, but a difficult place to grow up. And the club have always been, like I say, aware of trying to look after him, and that continues. You're also seeing, as you always do here in Spain, a lot of the criticism of him and whatever it is that he is or isn't doing, of course, comes from the other side, fans or the media that isn't aligned to Barcelona. I think the club are well aware of this. I think a lot of this, in terms of the attention, is inevitable, but they've got to look after him. But like I say, they've been aware of this for a long time. I think they've known that this is coming as well, and I think it's just about handling it as best as possible. We've seen this so many times. At least with Barca, they are very well used to players coming into the team very young and becoming superstars. Sometimes it works out and they go on to be sort of the best version of that, Messi or whoever. Other times it doesn't work out for all kinds of reasons. Someone like Ansu Fati, who we thought was going to be the next big thing, and injuries took their toll on him. But Lamine Yamal, right now, his trajectory has been explosive and better than anybody could have possibly imagined. But like I say, I think they're well aware of just how important it is to look after him and give him the right kind of advice and the right kind of environment to continue to kind of fulfil his potential.
But you can't. Does he need Uncle Craig and Uncle Stevie to go across there, look after him?
No, that's the last thing. Absolutely, the last thing that he needs. But you can't.
It's tough, Craig. He's 18. The world, is his oyster.
You can look after these players and you can give them everything they need to succeed, and you can give them all the advice. And Hansi Flick just seems like such a calm, wise, great manager. But can't follow him around 24/7.
Yeah,
he has a life to lead outside of when he leaves the training ground on a midweek or whenever it is, or when he plays on a Saturday or a Sunday and he leaves the stadium and he goes home. And there are pitfalls out there as we always talk about, but I just hope that, and listen, we're getting away down a street that he's not even walked yet. Let's just see if he can get anywhere close to doing what he did last season next season, because we saw him in the flesh at the Montjuic for that last Clásico of the season. And if you haven't seen this guy live and you watched it on TV and you think, wow, you have to actually, he is actually a player. When you sit there and watch the game, and there was a lot of talent on the field that day, a lot. But he was the one, you just went, wow, this guy's incredible, just what he was doing there. He had the whole crowd almost on the feet. And that's a difficult thing to do for season after season. Only, to my knowledge, and we keep bringing this up, and what makes them so special in their generation is that Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi at the elite level in Spain and England, they absolutely chummed out the greatest of numbers year in, year out. That's going to be the big challenge for the superstars coming up through the ranks like Lamine Yamal, 18 years old, 19, then he gets to 20. He's a targeted player, not just off the pitch. When he's having a meal, or he's in a bar, or he's with friends, everybody wants a piece of him. But on top of that, when he's on the field, everybody wants a piece of him, because he's a marked man. And he's a man that defenders will target, he's a man that managers will target, and he's got that big sort of cross on the top of his head now, whether it's you know, in La Liga on a weekend, or whether it's in Barcelona on a Saturday night. It doesn't matter. He has propelled himself into a position, Daniel, that he's going to be, as Alex said, he's in the spotlight 24/7 now. And that, for me, is going to be very interesting. But I also think very difficult for this young man to handle.
Of course, Frank, in your head, you're in the spotlight 24/7 as well. How do you handle it?
Very well. I've talked to the birds. The birds are taking pictures of me in Normandy. You know, it's spiders, rodents. You know, it's very hard to cope with them. And but you know what? Seriously, I was thinking about what Craig was saying, and I remember, you know, having the chance to play with Zinedine Zidane and having a life around him. You know, where outside of the field, it's a real nightmare. Those people cannot breathe. They cannot have a normal life. I remember, like, imagine 15 years ago, after his career, we had a dinner all together, and after we say, okay, we're gonna go for a little drink. We were like 50 years old for myself and 45 for Zizou. The career was over. The guy said, no, I'm gonna go back to the hotel. I can't go out. It's a nightmare. They don't have a life. I don't envy them, because people don't understand that they need to breathe. They need when I say people, I say media, but also people down the street. They want to touch them. They want to talk to them. They are like a dream, which I understand, but they don't realize how hard and heavy it can be for those players. So I think for Lamine Yamal, it's new, so it's maybe enjoyable. But very soon he's going to be fed up, and it's when he will have to be very cautious. He will have people surrounding him to make sure that they can protect him, and he doesn't do big mistakes, because otherwise, you know, media is going to be terrible to him.
Just like us in Glasgow, really, many years ago.
You were lucky there were no camera phones
Celtic,
then.
you know, when you're...
Goodness gracious.